This is the day that the Lord has made. I'm glad to be here tonight. I said I'm glad to be here tonight. I'm glad to be here tonight. Presiding elder talked about the angel of death that visited families, and we are here. And I think I need to establish something with you, that it's not scriptural, it's not in the scriptures for us to be quiet.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's not scripture. The last time I read it, it said, let the redeemed of the Lord say so. And then the one that I really like is make a joyful noise unto the Lord. Let me do all these salutations to my brother and the distinguished pastor of this church and the chieftain of the Concord district. Yes, we have been friends nearly 40 years. And yes, I understand him just like he understands me. I get mad with him, and he gets mad with me. He says Sunday school words to me, and I say Sunday school words to him. And then we pick up the telephone and talk to each other the next day as if nothing has ever happened. He has a great roar, but he has a loving, kind heart. And once you get to understand that, you can get along with him. To this able director of evangelism, thank you, sir, for setting the pace. And to these distinguished preachers, you could have gotten anyone to come here this week and preach. I was laughing in the study. Now, I'm like Caesar Clark. I told you this when I preached for you in March. I'm old and I'm slow. 40 years ago, I could jump up and hit it and go on. But you know, if there's anybody in here who has lived to reach 50, you understand what I'm talking about. I used to do 20, Dr. Norman Hickley and I used to do 19 to 20 revivals yearly, back to back. If you think I'm going to do that now, no, I'm not going to do that now. No. You know, the Lord has a way of strength. I had prepared a series of messages this week about when. We went out to eat. I got back, those notes in Sanford. And I realized during the hearing why possibly I left all of that I could do this from the top of my head and from my heart and the way that I feel. And you just pray with me now. You know, I'm not here trying to get nobody's church. The elder gave you my resume, where I've been and all like that. And I did that because I wanted to make an active tour of the church. I didn't want to wear a purple shirt because I wanted to go to heaven when I die. So I made an active tour of our church, and I'm grateful that the Lord blessed us to have a fruitful journey over these past 58 years. Now, son, when I get there, going to be G flat. You'll know when I get there, okay? I want you to open your Bible and share with me tonight from this 4th chapter in Philippians. And after I got back and was listening to the hearing, I stumbled on these words and I said, this is what I need, and this is what Concord needs on this Wednesday night. Philippians chapter 4, verse 6.
Right.
Be careful for nothing, but in everything by prayer and supplication, with thanksgiving, let your requests be made known unto God. All right. I want to talk tonight about how to keep from losing your mind. Now, they say that a terrible mind, a mind, is a terrible thing to waste. Anybody can rejoice when the bills are paid. Good health, money in the bank, doesn't take much to give God the glory for that. But a mind can be a terrible thing to lose. Because your mind can become demonic. Your mind will play tricks on you. See, a lot of us allow our minds to play tricks. We're trying to be something that we are not. There's no way in the world at 50 can you be 25. And the glory of that is you need to learn to accept where you are and what you have to do. You think, or you thought, or they thought, with this economy in the shape that it's in and with that man that's up there on Pennsylvania Avenue for a while, that you thought joining the church would make everything all right. But I guess by now you understand that joining the church is no guarantee against life. Jesus even made that clear when he said, in this world you shall have trials, tribulations, but be of good cheer now. I have overcome the world. How to keep from losing your mind. Your mind will play tricks on you. You think people are talking about you and really nobody's talking about you. I know you're talking about me. No, don't have an overrated opinion of yourself. You know, choir members get overrated opinions of themselves. And I try to tell these young preachers, if you want to go up in the church, you cannot be T.D. Jakes. You got to be yourself. You got to develop your own style. You have this overrated opinion of yourself that everybody wants to hear you. And when you really get down to it, don't nobody want to hear you but you. Because your mind plays tricks on you. Your mind thinks that everything is against it. But the apostle said, be careful for nothing. Nothing. Don't let nothing excite you. They can tell you how beautiful you are, but don't let that stuff go to your head. Don't let nobody make you think that you're the Queen Madonna in Concord. Preachers, don't let these churches mess up your mind and make you think, can't nobody handle this but me. John Wesley said, we bury the worker, but the work goes on. If you don't believe that it will survive without you, I have one thing to say to you. Die and see. Things may be slow for 2 or 3 days, but you can, my mother used to have a saying, you can cool believe this, that is going on with you or without you. How to keep from losing your mind. First thing is, you've got to recognize your position. They say, that's what they say. They say, you're different. You don't act the way you used to. Well, the scripture teaches us that we ought to come out from among them. Is that right? And be ye separated. How in the world can you not recognize your position that the Lord has delivered you? And if the Lord has delivered you, that's key one to help you from losing your mind. But when you don't know your position, you know, you got some folk saved on, how do I want to say it? Saved on Sunday. Hellish on Monday. Damnish on Tuesday and Wednesday. And Thursday and Friday. And then they expect things to really happen for them. It goes back to what the man said. Be careful for nothing. You are the light of the world. And God, when he's trying to help us to recognize our position, he's not trying to destroy us, but he's trying to develop us into knowing that you cannot, and you've got to learn how to keep from losing your mind. My good friend, Dr. Andrew Best, who was down in Father's house, used to tell this, that there's a mental hospital in Goldsboro, my home. And he said, Sherman, I went over there, and Dr. Bass was taking over. And he said, in one side of the ward, this man was crying, Mary, Mary, Mary. And he said, we went down to the other side. Another one was saying, Mary, Mary, Mary. So Dr. Bass said to the psychiatrist, he said, now you have to understand something. He's crying, he's crazy because he married Mary. And he's crazy because he wanted to marry Mary. You got to learn how to keep from losing your mind over all this mess that's going on. You got to know and recognize your position. Position is not officers in the church. See, we get hung up on positions. I'm the chairman of the trustee board. I am the chairman of the student. I am. Positions in the church don't mean nothing. Now, let me just drop this. You know, you can hold something down for 20 years. And if you don't take somebody under your wing to train them, that's what it's all about. You don't hold no position for no 10 years. When the elder comes to hold the first quarterly conference, some folk all spouted up. It's only for 1 year.
That's it.
Not, this ain't no Baptist church. We don't have no deacons and they decide. We are Methodists. And it's only for a year. And if you can't do something with it within a year, if you cannot grab somebody along and train them along the way, then holding that job down means nothing. Position. You see, we need a ministry to help people who are not of us. I'm trying to recognize your position. See, there's certain kind of folk you want in Rock Hill. There's certain kind of folk you want in Bethel. There's certain kind of folk you want in Bentonville. There's certain kind of folk you want in your church. Y'all, listen. If Jesus was here now, he'd blow all of our minds. See, the folk we don't want to be bothered with, you know, what y'all call them the queens. No, like you don't know what I'm talking about now. Y'all call them the queens and all them kind of things. You don't want no drunks and dope users in your church. You don't want nobody that smells bad in your church. But those are the kind of people that Jesus would be hanging with. He would be hanging with those of us who are from the upper crust. He would not be identifying with us. See, we have our doctrine, I live over here, and I am accustomed to this. I'm not accustomed to all of the slum down there. That's what we'd be talking. But Jesus went where his disciples didn't understand. You remember when they went to Samaria? I said, what you going through here for? Jesus said, I have needs that I must go through Samaria. That's what Jesus said. And they said, you know, we don't need to be going that way. You know you're on your way. But Jesus said, I have needs. And that's the way he was. And let me tell you something. If you're going to keep your mind, keep from losing your mind, you better learn how to deal with people. And like I said, positions is not in the church. The man goes on to say this in this text. He said, whatsoever things are true.
Yes.
That's what he said. If you're going to keep from losing your mind, you've got to learn to understand whatsoever is true. Isn't it strange how we fall to pieces in the church over the least bit of junk rather than the truth? Am I right about it? If you really want to get a mess going, you get some lies going in the church. But if you want to learn how to keep from losing your mind, you've got to understand what truth is all about. Then honesty. You got so many crooks all around everybody. But you got to learn how to be honest. Because if you're honest, God will bless you more ways than you ever had to dream of. Think on those things that are just, that are pure, and lovely. Do you realize no matter how ugly some of us look? Well, I'm going to confess something to you. I had to go to Goldsboro last week, bury a cousin. I didn't get a chance to get to the barbershop. I didn't get a chance to do all that. When I got here last night, I said, look, I don't care what you've got to do tomorrow. I must go to a barbershop and get what needs to be done. And after I got back to the barbershop and went upstairs, I went upstairs with the mirror. I said, Sherwin, let me tell you something. You're a good-looking nigga. You know? You got to learn to talk to yourself. In order to keep yourself from losing your mind every now and then, you need to talk to yourself. I don't care if you're bent over. I don't care if you're hopping. You need to just look at yourself and say, you know what? You are a thing of beauty. Now don't do it every day because you'll get yourself all messed up thinking through all of that. If there be any virtue, if there be any praise, think on these things. Now let me tell you, before I go to point two, when you think, and listen with me, when you think, you are thankful. Let me do it this way. Who woke you up this morning? Who put clothes on your body? A roof over your head? Little money in your pocket? May not have a Lexus, but if you would get from point A to point B, who made all that possible? And then you want to come in here and act like you don't know what's going on. The man said, think on these things. And if you think on these things, you will be grateful. Isn't it amazing that we come to the church and you all lay folk expect these preachers to preach you so happy that you forget about everything. Now, if you get mad, it's all right.
Yes.
You expect the preachers to preach you happy.
Yes.
But let me talk with the folks behind me. Because I'm looking at you, I'm not talking about you, I'm talking to everybody. I just want to look at you closer. Did you ever think about during the week, beyond Bible study? I'm going to pray for my church, for the Holy Spirit to be at my church Sunday.
Mama.
I'm going to pray for my pastor for the anointing to fall afresh on him on Sunday.
Amen.
Then you come and you expect the choir to have you skip it. How was church? All of this is in how to keep from losing your mind. How was church?